Everyone, welcome to Divine Sacred Tarot. Today is a slightly different approach. So again, I will talk about some oracle messages, and then I will call upon and draw some cards out regarding what has happened, what is happening for the past few weeks and months, and leading into the beginning of 2025. I put the statement up online to say that things are about to change drastically. And these are for those who see beyond the twin flame connection. What I've also been drawn to is this Tich Nat Han, pardon me, offers a profound sense of clarification on what true love is. True love, he says, has the power to heal and transform any situation and bring deep meaning into our lives. Loving kindness is the first element of true love, and loving kindness is the essence of being able to offer happiness so you can be the sunshine for another. You can't offer the happiness for others, for another person, until you have built it for yourself, until you have built a home inside by accepting and learning to love and heal yourself, learning how to practice mindfulness in such a way you can create moments of happiness and joy for your own nourishment. Then you have something to offer the other person. And yes, we do need the sense of compassion, which is another element of true love. Compassion is the capacity to understand the suffering in oneself and the other person. Compassion and relief, so you can transform the suffering and help the suffering of the other person with practicing mindfulness. To look at the suffering as a lesson, as a healing element. And then the third element of true love, he says, is joy, the capacity to offer joy when you know how to generate joy, nourishing you and the other person in the presence. Why is this all important? Because the thing is, everybody who has been caught up in the matrix of twin flames sometimes come across these readings and really do express their pain about the twin flame because they have been hoodwinked and duped into thinking that this twin flame journey has been about being traumatized and suffering and pain and destruction and ghosting. I don't know where this has come from. I'm not actually sure why there is so much hate and pain around this twin flame journey. And somebody reminded me of like the chaos and the drama. The thing is, we watch things that are chaotic and full of drama. We attract the things that are chaotic and full of drama. And when that happens, it really does expand the chaos and drama of our frequency. So we end up in this self-fulfilling cycle. This isn't about that. I feel that these messages that we're seeing today is about finding a moment of stillness, a moment of peace, a moment of clarity to go within and ask yourself specific questions. Now, it could be a question about who you are, why you're here, what your mission is, what your purpose is, what you're here to do. I know I for sure have been in the past 7 years, because we've just come out of a 7-year cycle and we're entering into a new cycle, and we've just come out a 10-year cycle. So this 2024 has really been the ever expanding energy of putting to rest those last 7 years. What did we learn in the last 7 years? Now we're entering into a new cycle of the next 7 years, but it's also asking what happened in the last 7 years and what questions kept coming up for you. Me personally, it was always about my purpose. And I attached why is this specific person interrelated to, is this specific person related to my purpose? Why are we connected? It was more a case of, what is the purpose of this? Is there a highest and best good for this? I only want this if it's the highest and best good for everyone, not just for myself. And so when you end up sitting down, going into meditation, doing breath work, honoring your quiet space, these questions arise. Why are these questions important? It's because it's asking you to look beyond the twin flame journey. Now, however you come across twin flames, however you've entered into this paradigm of twin flame, the question also is, what have you learned so far? What have you learned so far being on this journey? And what have you learned about yourself? These are deep questions. These aren't just flyaway questions where you can just say, I've learned how to love, or I've learned unconditional love, or I've learned self-love. They are a given, but what have you truly learned? Think about the last 7 years. What have you learned almost every year? And I'm going to do this as soon as I kind of come off the recording, because it's actually allowing me to end what has happened in the last 7 years and enter into the transition of what is coming, the new earth, the new state of being. And obviously the questions are going to be different for everyone. Your answers are going to be different. But what I'm trying to say is, instead of romanticizing this twin flame, being with one another and, being in union, being as a couple, exchanging messages, I want you to kind of step away from the whole twin flame paradigm and just think about what you've learned in the last 7 years. What has this taught you? Because twin flame is one method to teach you what you were supposed to know and learn and understand. A part of understanding is love. Love is understanding. It's intertwined. Compassion is love. Love is compassion. It's intertwined. So when we're learning more about ourselves, are we learning about the journey that we're entering into? And the twin flame paradigm has been one avenue that we are able to access this. So other people are going to be learning it through different ways. I wanted to ask the cards. I've already blessed and shuffled, so thank you, angels, guardians, ancestors, and spirit team, for allowing me to channel these messages from the highest and best good. Please allow these questions and answers to reveal to my audience, whether now or in the near future, any messages that resonate with them for the highest and best good. The first card that wanted to come out is asking the divine masculine, what is the question you need to ask yourself? What have you learned in this journey so far? The Lovers card wanted to come out first and foremost. The masculines have needed to learn about love. They not only needed to learn about love, not only needed to learn about loving themselves, they needed to understand what the difference is between true love, between desire love, between lustful love, between painful love. That has been the biggest lesson for the masculines to learn. And they've also questioned love. They've questioned love around their family or their friends or their social groups. The masculines have really been put through this tower moment to understand what is and isn't love. What is the biggest lesson for the divine feminines on this journey? What have they learned? The Page of Pentacles. Now I'm seeing the Page of Pentacles as this big, big mirror being illuminated, but it's also an illusion. It's a fog. Because you've been understanding, where have you been uncertain? What things have come up in your reality that have left you confused? And what is the process that you're using to get into clarity? What am I trying to say? Spirit is here to say, if you're confused by tarot, if you're confused by the lessons that you're learning, you need to ask better questions. So the confusion is a trigger for you to go through a series of learning and understanding. When you're able to look at yourself and truly be honest with yourself, because sometimes this takes a while. I know for me, it took a long while to truly be honest about what I wanted, because I was under the illusion of this is what society wants me to do. This is what my family wants me to do. This is what I want. I think I want, because I've been doing this for centuries. However, the Page of Pentacles is saying that what you thought you were supposed to do isn't what you are doing right now. And that is the non-linear path that you have taken. I feel a lot of you who have been taking this path of either entrepreneurship or you're climbing in the business world, you may be doing things for healing and guiding other people on their journey. You're supporting others. This isn't something that you've openly declared. And for some of you, you've kind of kept it hidden because you've been asked to keep it hidden just for a temporary period. You know how they normally say that don't speak about your dreams until they manifest and then tell people. Well, everybody's going to have their own experiences and their own challenges and their own triggers. But what I'm seeing here is a Page of Pentacles is saying that until you actually understand what this journey is about, feminines, and until you actually understand who it is you are, and then you can be honest to yourself and to those you love. This is who you are. Like for me, for example, I never told anybody about this Divine Sacred Tarot channel. And then the ones I did tell, I still kept close to my heart. Now I'm starting to tell more people because it's a part of who I am, but not a part of who I am as a person. It's a part of what I'm doing. It's a part of how I'm servicing. So the more I hide this element of me, the more I'm resisting my true nature, if this makes sense. So that's just one example, just to say, through all the smoke screens, through all the illusions, who are you really, feminines? And how can you be honest with yourself in declaring that truth to yourself and to the universe? Okay, so let's move on to the second row. Why? Okay, so what is happening in the month of November, December that is propelling this change of worlds and events for the divine masculine? What is happening for November and December that is changing the events and the world for the masculines? We've got the Empress card. Because we have the lovers of this is their biggest lesson about love. The time between the November and December has given them space to understand who their empress is. And I'm not talking about them coming to an epiphany that they know about twin flames or they know about who you are. I'm talking about coming to the reality of their true nature. And within that, you might have unlocked this version of them that is the true version of them. So, what I'm trying to say is the Empress and the Divine Feminine within them recognizes, sees, and honors the Empress in you, feminine. During November and December, there has been this sense of gone but not gone, the closeness and separation. It's like the both of you are magnets drawing to one another. And this magnetism that you're expanding keeps vibrating on a higher level towards the divine masculine because you're so busy focusing on yourself. You're so busy focusing on your purpose. You're so busy focusing on these questions. It's indirectly helping the masculines to feel whole within their divine feminine energy and understand that they need to nurture the divine feminine energies within themselves to come into alignment of love. So they need to be compassionate to themselves. They need to draw in healing, love, happiness to themselves. And when I mentioned earlier that kindness to yourself, being a sunshine, yourself, until you can accept and learn to love and heal yourself, that's when you can offer that to another person. And I feel like that's what the divine masculine has been trying to do during the November and December. Huge changes around the 11:11 and the 12:12 portal. What is happening between the November and December of 2024 that has drastically shifted for the divine feminines in aligning with this new world energy? The Ace of Swords. Yeah, this is actually so appropriate because we have this truth energy. We have the feminine sometimes questioning when things go quiet, when things are uncertain, you feel as if you're being hoodwinked or kept in the dark, and that isn't it. It means that it gives you time, patience. So things can brew before they become clearer for you, feminines. Upon this clarity, upon this confusion brings clarity, but the patience and the time needing for this to ferment so you can understand which direction you need to go. When you're in the quiet space, when you're honoring your own divinity, when you've got these light codes and energetic telepathy with the divine will tell you which way to go. And this isn't about saying, oh, you know what? I'm so spiritual. I'm just going to let things be. I'm just going to allow things to go with the flow and la di da di da. This is about taking rest when you need to, taking action when you need to. And so this rest period has been quite difficult for those feminines who are so used to acting on impulse or not letting the question permeate in order for something to be revealed. So what I'm trying to say is you've been asking the questions, you've not yet known the answer, but you know something is coming. And a part of that is coming to the truth of who you were supposed to be this whole time. Knowing your power is grander, not just for this twin flame transaction, this partnership, but for a greater element of the new world coming into being. What has been the biggest challenge for the masculines coming from the 2024 energy and going into the 2025 energy? the Queen of Pentacles. I always say the Queen of Pentacles is the divine feminine type of energy. The divine masculines have fought and been challenged by your divinity feminines. Because they fought for this and fought against it, they weren't quite understanding how they too have been the Queen of Pentacles. That your light shines separately, feminines, and their light shines separately. That you weren't trying to tie them down and, put a ring on it or do any of those things. You just wanted for them to be free, and you wanted yourself to have this sense of connection and support, but you needed to give it to yourself first, feminines. So the masculines didn't quite understand why this connection was so easy. So they made a drama out of it. They created this cycle, this loop. They knew you were different. They knew you were different by you being the Queen of Pentacles. And they understood why you never really made it difficult for them. If you did at the beginning, you've switched. You've moved from that low vibrational energy to a higher vibrational being. So the biggest challenge for the masculines is to understand that it doesn't need to be difficult. It doesn't need to be full of drama or chaos or push and pull or lustful, dramatic energy. It could bring him peace. And take these energies as they resonate, because I'm taking the divine masculines as we embody both the masculines and the feminines energy. So the masculines are understanding that you brought them this sense of non-drama, peace, tranquility, love, and unadulterated support. And they haven't really felt that because they didn't know what love was, if that makes sense. Love is about compassion and kindness and joy. It's not about fighting and then making it up. It's not about having to argue because you have to. There has been this reality and paradigm that dictates what relationships are in this current matrix, but that's not what you're doing, feminines. I don't feel like that's what you're doing. And if you are doing it, why? Why are you still on that old cycle and paradigm? Because from the December 2024 into January 2025, this is that realization that's going to happen within them. They're going to unlock the divine feminine key code within them in order to come to this higher level of knowing and gifting and healing, to know what true love actually entails. What is the biggest challenge that is coming up for the feminines in December 2024 into January 2025? The Chariot. I feel that you have been in such a hurry to be with your person, and you didn't realize that every time you felt, okay, this is it, this, I can feel it, we're going to get into union, this is it, I can feel it, this is it, this is the time, this is us. And then you end up getting disappointed because you're like, oh, okay, I guess I was wrong. You weren't wrong, feminines, it just wasn't the right time. You felt the energy from the collective of others coming into union, but what you were doing is you were still needing to honor your purpose, your voice, the clarity and truth of who you are, fully embody this, as well as stand up and declare it out into the universe. So you needed to bring up this type of confidence. You needed to bring up this sense of self-assurance, and you needed to run with it. And that's coming through December and January. You're not only uncovering your gifts and your power, but you're actually doing it in a way that it's bringing so much peace and tranquility and harmony and clarity to you. And you're going to understand how much more powerful you actually are. What does a divine need the divine masculine to know heading into 2025? The Queen of Wands. I feel that the masculines are going to do a lot of work on their own, but they really do need your support, feminines, whether it's astrally, whether it's in the physical, to take them to the next level of their own majesty, of their own ability. What is the feminines needing to know that is coming through for 2025? The 10 of Pentacles. Wow. Your 2025 feminines is going to be so abundant. It's not going to be like 2024. 2024, you did the groundwork. You asked those difficult questions. Keep asking them until 2025, because in 2025, you're going to move forces. You're going to shift the realities. The tectonic plates are going to shift, and the new world has been created through you. What is the final message that the divine needs the masculines to know? The Hermit card. The Hermit card isn't anything to be afraid of. It's saying that you don't have to be in a hermit period for a very long time. It does depend upon which direction you're going. But what I'm seeing is every single card that I have for the masculines are all facing the future. The Empress, actually, even the Lovers, it's the feminines who are facing in the masculines, but it's the masculines facing right. The Empress card, it's the feminines facing the left, the masculine facing the right, because you've got two people in the Empress card on this deck. The Queen of Pentacles is looking right. The Queen of Wands looking right. The Hermit looking right. Right is towards the divine masculine, but also the divine. So the Hermit is looking to the star seed within them, the light, the divinity within them that's navigating their future steps forward. This has been a long time coming for the masculines. So they don't need to be in hermit mode per se for a very long time, but they can take quiet moments to themselves and kind of go into the meditative state to actually ground the energies to make a decision and then take an actionable step. What do we need to know for the divine feminines? The Nine of Cups. Because of the work that you've done on yourself, feminines, because of the way that you've been ushered forward into your true you, not only are you going to manifest abundance for your own world, but I'm hearing the quote of bless me with abundance so I can bless others. Allow me to be abundant so I can continue to give back. The Nine of Cups is a wish fulfillment for you. And I don't mean a wish fulfillment in terms of the connection. I feel like there is a dream, there is a mission, there is a purpose that you have thought about for a very long time, feminines. And this is going to come towards the next steps in your journey in 2025. 2025 is going to allow you to come back to the dream that you wanted as a healer, as a guide, as a light worker, as a starseed. This is something that you've really, truly wanted, but you've just kept on the back burner. It's going to come to fruition and it's going to start to make moves in 2025. This is a very, very big message. If you found this and you're still here, please do click the like button. I'm so grateful that I got to channel this type of message. And if this actually resonated, let me know why. What questions came up for you and what's coming up for you when you listen to these types of messages. I'm sending you guys so much love. Bye for now.